nothing really about the game, but do you believe that experience matters this time of year?
I don't know. I think there's a lot of players on both teams that have a lot of experience, have had successful runs, and I think it can be helpful. There's also, I think, players that haven't had the experience and they have to break out at some point and they have to, make their way and do it in the playoffs. So it can help at times, I think, experience, but it's not, that's not the end-all be-all.
What was in that 2-3 minute window when you guys scored those 2 goals yesterday? It's 5-on-5. What in particular did you see that's repeatable within there, but also just the 5-on-5 game in general for you guys, the way you played that yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, we had talked in the first period about trying to look for a little bit more. And so I thought the second period we did that. We also probably gave up the most chances in the second period. Pretty tight in the first, pretty tight in the third, but the second they got some looks and some chances. I don't know if there was anything in particular that we did that, we're trying to, inside of that time frame that you're talking about, that we're trying to say, okay, we got to do this for the whole 60 minutes. There was things in the first period that I thought that we did offensively that maybe we could have done other things or better things. And so we talked about those between periods. Does that go and dictate the second period? Maybe, but in the third period it slowed down a little bit again. But I thought that the second period we got some chances. We gave up some as well. I don't think we gave up very much in the first period. I think it's just one of those series that's going to be a little bit tighter. There's some games that you play and they move up and down the ice so fast and there's so many chances and odd man rushes. And I just think this one's, like I said last night, it's a little bit closer to the vest.
So if it's going to be tighter and you give up chances when you get some chances, is there going to be a difficult balance, I guess, for you to strike in terms of when to push, how to push?
I think you can do both. I think that you can try to push more offensively, things that, like I said, we talked about after the first, things that we talked about in a meeting today. And I know that they're talking about the same thing. It's easy to hear what they're saying on their side and how they can generate more, what they can do. I think we always talk about, when we're late in a game or going into a third period and we don't have the lead yet, we talk about having the whole 20 minutes to try and execute, not to get outside of ourselves, not to push beyond boundaries of stuff that's going to leave us vulnerable the other way. And so I do think that there's got to be some sort of, not restraint, but just not trying to outdo yourself where it ends up hurting you and coming back at you the other way.
How much does experience help you this time of year?
I mean, I hadn't thought about it, to be honest with you. It just seems like I've been in it a long time, so I hadn't thought about it.
Do you remember what it was like your first time?
Yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome. Michael Pekka was on the team. It was one of the best series I've ever been in. Islanders versus Toronto was it a war? It was awesome. It was a great series.
I guess that's a good way to get to your first experience.
I said it. I mean, I hate the fact that we lost in 7 games, but I left there and I'm never having experienced playoff hockey before. I was like, that was short of the result. That series, the way it went back and forth and the energy and the ups and the downs. Somebody asked about that yesterday. Managing the ups and the downs inside of that series was incredible.
Barclay Goodrow had a couple points yesterday. Just what about his game stands out, and or maybe about his game lends himself to playoff hockey?
Barclay?
Yeah.
I think just the way he plays the game. I mean, you watch the games going on around the league. It's heavy. It's physical. It's about the battles, and that's his DNA. And I thought that that line did a pretty good job again of just playing a simple game and either getting to the offensive zone or staying in the offensive zone and keeping it simple. They stayed connected. They moved well in the offensive zone. They weren't spread out. Generated some big chances for us.
You talk about physicality, just to follow up on that a little bit. There was some snarl in the game yesterday. Guys are, having angry conversations with each other and stuff like that. I mean, I guess that's part of playoff hockey.
I was going to say different from all the other series.
I'm sure that's all part of it, but I mean, how much of a part of it is it? Like, and how much, when you draw the line, it's like Remke gets bumped by McElrath at one point, it backs up. Like, when you draw the line, it's like, I'm not going to get involved versus
Well, I mean, with regard to Remp, we talk to him. He has a game plan every game. And, I think that at the end of the day, you want to be, you want to play fast, you want to play physical, you want to play the game the right way and like the work that you did at the end of the night. But if you're undisciplined, there's a good chance you'll lose. And so you have to walk that line. That's a fine line to walk. So discipline always factors into it in the playoffs.
Yeah, Wilson knocks down Mika a couple times, and
Yeah, it was just it was hockey. I mean, Rems, I thought it was just hockey. It's hockey. He's a physical guy. Rem's a physical guy. There's going to be banging out there. You mentioned Barclay Goodrow. They've got guys. McElrath, you mentioned his name. There's guys that play physical, and that's playoff hockey.
So when that call was made on Rempe, is there? Do you
Don't
say-
take me down here, Larry. Don't take me down here. Don't take me down.
We have to.
Well, no. What I'm wondering is, do you say to him, no, that was okay? Or, do you
Yeah.
say, they're watching you,
No.
they're watching you closely? Or do
No.
you say nothing and just, say,
We-
go play your game?
He's a physical guy. He's almost, it's almost like you're drawn to him, just by the way he skates and the way he plays. We need him to play his game and do his thing. If you're talking about his entire game last night, I thought it was excellent. So, I didn't go to him and say, back off. At the end of the game, again, with instructions. He's heading out on the ice, just give him a little bit of instruction just to finish the game and make sure we all make it back and out of there.
What does it say about him after that, how he just continued to play the game?
Yeah, you guys see him. He's got a smile wherever he goes. He just loves the game, loves being here, loves his teammates, loves New York. He's out, you get optional. He's out there every single day working on his game, trying to get better, and he has gotten better since he's been here in this game itself. So we just got to keep doing that. He's a young kid. I think talking to him and communicating to him is really a good thing, important thing.
Peter, Kreider's been such a force in the playoffs for his team for a long time. You've obviously coached against him for a long time. How do you see the guys in the room looking up to him and following his lead?
Yeah, you're right. It goes back to the experience question. Again, they have some guys with experience as well. I know that. But he's played an awful lot of playoff games for this organization, and I think that you do rely on those guys in the room and on the ice for the way they play the game.
Is there something specific about him in this room that you see these guys kind of on the respect level or whatever it may be?
Well, I definitely think that there's a respect level when it comes to the veterans in the room. Not just him, but Jacob Trouba and Mika, and there's a lot of guys I think that fall into that. Barclay Goodrow, you mentioned his name. All different players, but that's why that's either why they wear a letter or they're part of that leadership group because of the respect that they do have in the room.
Peter, I'm curious about Faceoff specifically. I know there's been a lot of emphasis on having two centers out at certain times this year, but knowing that every single Faceoff is emphasized a little bit more in the playoffs, how critical each draw is. Fourth line gets a big goal in Faceoff last night.
Yeah.
Is your approach to Faceoffs different come playoff time, or is it still the similar attack that you did in the regular season?
Always similar tactic. Yeah.
It's just been such a drastic difference this year versus previous years, at winning draws. And I know a lot of the guys have actually, done that reverse hand grip that came in and taught, but have you seen anything specific just as far as the centers go?
Not anything different than we've done this year or how we deploy them. We're trying to stay business as usual. Just the way we did things through the course of the regular season, we're trying to bring that right into the playoffs. So with regard to that and how they get used, how they get deployed, everything's close to the same.
What kind of lift did you get from your PK?
Last one?
Well, I thought they did a terrific job. I mean, you're talking about, like I said, that a lot of pieces of that group have a lot of history together, chemistry together, and really good players and one of the greatest goal scorers ever. And that's a challenge every night. And so there's a lot of work that goes into it. There's preparation and to the players, and then from there we have to go out and execute. So, again, God bless you. God bless you. I think too, again, you're listening to them. It's a point of emphasis now. So this is a time to really sharpen things. It's time to sharpen the penalty kill, sharpen the power play, sharpen 5-on-5. not to take a breath. Thanks, guys.